Hey, what is up, mortals? It is GrogFunky here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 3 of What If Deku Was a Dragon Slayer. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So, we begin. It had been several weeks since Izuku Midoriya had completed the UA entrance exam. Over that time, he had been anxiously waiting for the results to come in. To distract himself from this, the nervous boy busied himself with training. He had met Wendy several times and learned more about the Sky Dragon Slayer. Midoriya had even gotten some good ideas for a new move to use. The most annoying thing that happened during these weeks, besides not hearing from UA, was his mother's sudden interest in his new friend Wendy. The loving woman wanted to know everything about the girl. What did she look like? What kind of personality did she have? Did she have a boyfriend? All of these were questions that Inko bombarded the green teen with. It was true that Midoriya had not had many female friends growing up, or indeed any female friend. The flustered teen had never been very good with girls. He had mainly focused on his Dragon Slayer training. It felt it was more important to not burn down his house than to get lucky. One night, Midoriya was staying in his dorm when Inko came busting into the room with an envelope in her hand.
Izuku, you got a letter from UA! I think it's your test results!
The frantic woman hurriedly handed over the envelope and left the room. Midoriya held the envelope in his hands for a moment, fearful of the contents. Finally, he ripped open the envelope and a small disc fell out. Booyah! I'm here as a projection!
All Might?
That's right, Izuku Midoriya, but just so you know, this is a recording and I cannot actually hear you. But never mind that. I am here to tell you that you passed the written exam with flying colors. But I know you're more interested in how you did on the practical. Well, good news! You received an exceptional 55 villain points on the exam. This is a very good score, but it is not your whole score. There were other factors being considered. Midoriya and Wendy figured this was the case. When the two had met up for training over the past weeks, Wendy had mentioned that the practical test seemed to focus sorely on combat. The witty girl thought it was weird. Midoriya pointed out that they probably had some kind of secret scoring system, taking different qualities into account. After all, if the test was only about fighting fake villains, then the school would only end up with only the best fighters. You see, young man, you are not only being rated on your combat skills, but how you acted during the test. A panel was watching how you performed during the battle, and you were rewarded resume points if you had behaved as a hero should. After all, what kind of hero course would UA be if we did not take such qualities into account? I am proud to say that you, Izuku Midoriya, were awarded an awesome 90 rescue points. That gives you a grand total of 145 points. That's the second highest score. All Might pressed a remote, which displayed Midoriya's score and the score on the other students that passed. Midoriya could see that he got a higher score than Bakugo, who came in third, which the fiery teen was over the moon about. But Midoriya was surprised to see that Wendy Marvel had gotten the top score. The peppy teen figured this was because the blue-haired girl rescued Uraraka from the debris and then helped the brunette to save him from falling to the ground. One last thing. You should know that I'm doing this video because I am UA's newest teacher. Midoriya could not believe this. The number one hero was going to be teaching at UA? The green-eyed boy did not know how to process this. I look forward to seeing how you perform, Izuku Midoriya. Welcome to the Hero Academia. You have made it into UA High School. The overjoyed teen shared the news with Inko. The two had a long cry after. After the waterworks had ended, Midoriya texted Wendy to let her know. The girl texted back quickly and congratulated him on passing. The green-haired boy then returned the sentiment by congratulating her on getting the top score. After several minutes, Wendy messaged a thank you for the warm feelings. Both friends agreed that they would meet up at UA for the first day. That way they could wish each other good luck. Of course, when Izuku told Inko, the woman got a knowing look in her eye. She was happy to see that her son had found a friend that he could go on this new adventure with, but she would need to keep her eye on this girl. Izuku may be growing up, but he was still her baby boy. On his first day at UA, Izuku got dressed in his school uniform and said goodbye to his mother. On the train ride to the campus, the worried teen wondered what kind of people his fellow students would be. At least he would know Wendy, but he had no idea if the two of them would be in the same class. Midoriya did his best to relax as he exited the train. Midoriya and Wendy met at the front gate of the UA campus, like they planned. Wendy greeted her green-haired friend with a full voice of excitement.
Midoriya, today we start our hero training. I hope you're as excited as me. Oh, I definitely am. By the way, Wendy, which class are you in?
The ecstatic girl pulled out her schedule.
This says I'm in 1A. What about you? Me too. Now I'm really excited. Really? So when you told me you were excited before, was that a lie?
Midoriya got flustered at this question from Wendy. The plain-looking teen was still not used to having a girl for a friend, but he could just tell from the impish look in Wendy's eye that she was just fooling around.
No, I was excited, but also worried. but I'm really glad we are going to train together. Why is that? Well, it is just that I have really liked training with you the past few weeks. Wendy's face suddenly blushed fiercely. Do you really mean that, Midoriya? Of course I do. Would I say it if I didn't? Oh, I have really enjoyed my time with you too. Wendy then nervously cleared her throat. We should probably get to class. We don't want to be late on the first day. The two dragon slayers made their way through the hallways. Both kids came to a giant door with the 1A written in red letters. Midoriya wondered if there were giants roaming the halls. Otherwise, why would the staff need such a large door? Well, here's the class. Yeah, I'm sure everyone here is nice. Wendy nodded in agreement. Midoriya slid the door open and was confronted by a not-so-shocking sight. Bakugo had already gotten into a fight with the blue-haired boy from the exam. The two people Midoriya did not want to see were in his class. You got something to say to me, Four Eyes? All I was saying is I cannot allow you to disrespect our upperclassmen by putting your feet on the desk. All talking stopped as Wendy and Midoriya entered the room. Several students exchanged hushed whispers. Bakugo audibly grounded his teeth in frustration. Well, if it isn't the two highest scores, we did not get off on the right foot. My name is Tenya Ida. Hi, my name is Izuku Midoriya, and this is my friend, Wendy Marvel. Before anyone can introduce themselves, a tall woman entered the doorway. The woman was dressed in a blue skirt with a blouse and black boots. That is enough noise. Everyone take your seats. It is time to begin class. Who the hell are you, tomato head? Before the foul-mouthed Bakugo could react, the crimson-haired woman zipped across the room and pinned Bakugo against the wall. The woman had her forearm placed on Bakugo's neck, and the bombastic boy's feet were dangling in the air. My name is Erza Scarlet. I'm your homeroom teacher, and if it isn't apparent yet, I will not tolerate disrespect. She then glared daggers at Bakugo. So, are we going to have a problem, or are you going to behave? Bakugo tried to answer, but he was unable to make a sound. The spiky blonde pointed to his neck. Oh, right, sorry. Erza removed her arm from Bakugo's neck. The foul-mouthed youth fell to the ground in a heap. After coughing for a few seconds, Bakugo replied, I apologize, ma'am. I'll watch my mouth from now on. Good. Now to get to business. The adamant woman extended her hand with a flash of yellow light. A stack of uniforms appeared in the woman's hands. Change into these gym uniforms and meet me on the practice field. Not wanting to get pinned to the wall, of course, or worse, the students went to the locker rooms to get changed. Today, you are going to partake in a Quirk assessment test. It is important that I understand where you are in your development for me to train you effectively. But miss, our orientation, we're gonna miss it. You don't have time for that nonsense. You came here to be heroes, right? All the students nodded in agreement. You have 3 years at this high school to become heroes who can combat the evil festering in this world. So show me that you have what it takes. All the students answered with a group, yes ma'am. Midoriya, what was your farthest softball throw in middle school? About 80 meters, I think. Erza threw the green-eyed boy a softball. Now try it using your power. Midoriya wondered how he could use his power in this task. He quickly realized that Miss Scarlet was trying to get them to use their powers in different ways than they'd used them before. The thoughtful boy could not help but feel that he had seen the crimson-haired woman somewhere before. Midoriya thought for a long moment. Then he got an idea. Midoriya channeled his magic power into his hands. The boy then took a pitching stance and made his throw. When Midoriya's hand started to move, a jet of blazing fire exploded from the back of Midoriya's hand. The stream of blazing energy propelled the ball higher and farther than the ingenious boy could have ever done normally. Erza looked at her phone. The serious woman turned the screen towards the class. The reading on the screen said 190 meters. Up to this point, you have taken many tests, but you haven't been asked to use your powers in a tangible way. Use these tests to better your understanding of how your powers work. Cool, it's a physical test, but we get to use our quirks? This'll be fun! Erza got a fierce look in her eye. Fun, is it? Well, how is this for fun? The person coming in last place will be expelled. All the students gasped in shock. Expelled? But it is our first day and we all worked so hard to get here. This isn't fair. Are natural disasters fair? Or villain attacks? Of course not. But it is the job of a hero to combat that unfairness. If you are going to be stopped by a little test, then you don't deserve to be here. Show me and yourselves that you belong here. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered. And with our link, you can have a 14-day free trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes for free. Link is in the description below. Midoriya and the others did not like the fact that this could be their first day and last day at UA. But they all knew that Miss Scarlet was right. If they wanted to become heroes, then they would have to face worse consequences than expulsion. So all of the students prepared themselves for the events ahead. While he was certainly concerned about Erza's threat of expulsion, something else was also eating at Midoriya. The intelligent boy knew that one of UA's claims to fame was that all of the teachers were pro-heroes. Alright, let's get these events underway. As Midoriya, Ida, and Uraraka lined up for the 50-meter dash, a small starter pistol appeared in Erza's hand. Wendy saw this and displayed a level of fangirlism that put Midoriya to shame.
It is you! I did not recognize you without your armor! You're the re-equipped hero, Titania!
Erza responded to this enthusiasm with a flat tone. I was wondering who would be the first to notice. Good job, now run. Erza fired the starter pistol. The three teens took off running. Both Ida and Midoriya got pretty high scores, and Uraraka did alright. And so the events went on. Midoriya did very well in the long jump, long distance run, and sit-ups. Wendy also did marvelously seated toe touch, 50-meter dash, and sidesteps. Both students got high scores in the ball throw, but were eclipsed by Uraraka, who got an infinity score. But the two elemental teens were wondering how they ranked compared to their new classmates. Alright, you should already have some idea of where you rank, but here are the final scores. Erna then pressed a device that projected the list of scores onto a hologram in the air. Midoriya and Wendy managed to come in 4th and 3rd, respectively. While the two Dragon Slayers were glad that they did not come in last place, the two were shocked by the two that came in 1st and 2nd. In 2nd place was Kaminari, a blonde kid with a lightning bolt in his hair. Both Midoriya and Wendy had a hard time believing that the goofy kid was that good, but they did not exclude it. After all, both teens knew Natsu Dragneel, who was a bigger goofball than Kaminari would ever be. But one of the strongest heroes that they had ever seen, and in the top spot, somehow was Momo Yaoyorozu. After noticing the top spots, their eyes went to the bottom spot. The student name occupying the last spot was Toru Hagakure. The class did not need to see the girl's face to know how she was feeling. The invisible girl replied with a choking sob in her voice.
No, this can't be. Why me?
Erza pressed the button on her device again, and the list disappeared. Oh, by the way, no one is getting expelled. Every student's jaw dropped, except Yaoyorozu. That was a clever deception I used to get you to perform your best.
I am surprised you all did not figure it out earlier. I guess I should have said something.
Every student thought to themselves, that would have been nice. An important piece of information to know. In this timeline, Koji Koda did not get into UA. Since Wendy got 1st place on the entrance exam, the Any Voice boy did not make the cut. Be prepared to start your training in earnest tomorrow. Before you leave today, grab a class syllabus and read it before tomorrow. That is all. Midoriya and Wendy looked at each other knowingly. While both of them knew the UA would be a challenging experience, they did not think that it would get this serious this quickly. But the two did not come to UA to take it easy. Smiles of excitement spread across the two elemental teens' faces as they realized the challenges before them. After the students of U1A got changed, they met back in the classroom. The group decided to introduce themselves since they did not get the chance at the beginning of the day. The only one who abstained from the social interaction was Bakugo. He commented that he had no interest in getting to know a bunch of extras. Midoriya decided to ignore Bakugo's antisocial behavior and got to know his classmates. Wendy was by Midoriya's side as the two interacted with the members of Class 1A. The skinny girl thought that everyone was nice enough, but she didn't have a problem with the girls. Looking at all the other females of the class, the blue-haired teen started to get jealous. Almost all the girls had such feminine features. The girl wondered how there could be so many girls with huge melons in one class. She also did not like how the girls were paying so much attention to Midoriya. While all of these thoughts went through Wendy's mind, Uraraka spoke to her with a quizzical tone.
Wendy, are you okay?
Wendy was shocked out of her train of thought.
Oh, I'm fine, Uraraka. Why do you ask? You were just looking at Midoriya with an angry look on your face. Oh, I was just lost in thought. By the way, how do I put this? Are you and Midoriya together?
The pink-cheeked girl then made a couple of suggestive hand gestures. It took Wendy a moment to realize what Uraraka was asking. When she did, the blue-haired girl's face turned ruby red.
We're just friends. We have not known each other long enough for that. What makes you ask something like that? I was just wondering. I mean, you two seem really close is all.
Wendy thought hard about the explanation to give Uraraka.
Well, we both have elemental power sets, and our masters knew each other. But I will admit, it is strange just how well we get along after only knowing each other for such a short time. I'm not surprised. There's something unusual about him, isn't there? I cannot argue with that statement.
Midoriya appeared in front of Wendy and Uraraka.
Hey, Wendy. Ida and I are going to walk to the train together. Do you girls want to join us? That sounds like a good idea. Let's go. I agree. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you a question all day, Midoriya. What does Deku mean? Midoriya got an uneasy look on his face. That is a name that Kachan would call me to make fun of me. Bakugo would make fun of his own classmate? That is unforgivable. That is bad, but I think that Deku would be a great hero name. She has a point, Midoriya. It is a short, snappy, and unusual. Just like you. Are you saying I'm weird, Wendy? Of course you are. But that is what makes you so cool. So lean into your weirdness. Make it your strength. She has a point. Plus, the name is really cute. The praise from the two girls made Midoriya's face turn a glowing shade of red. Okay, Deku it is. Such a quick change. Did you not just say that the name was an insult? The group shared a laugh and then went to the train station. Meanwhile, a meeting was taking place in the principal's office. In attendance was Lucy Heartfilia, Erza Scarlet, and Nezu. So, how did your first day go, Miss Scarlet? Everything went fine, sir. My class has a lot of potential, but there is a lot of wasted energy. Are there any ones that stand out to you? It is early for that, but there are a few that strike me as having the seeds of great power in them. Well, that sounds promising. Nezu then mused to himself for a few moments. Do you know why I hired you as a homeroom teacher, Miss Scarlet? I would assume it is because you have several students that have magical powers. You are very perceptive. It was hard to miss the fact that Lucy and Natsu's students were in my class, and that a few others have high magic powers as well. So, you know both Miss Heartfilia and Mr. Dragneel? The number of individuals who can perform magic has been decreasing as quirks have become more widespread, so those of us that do practice it know of each other. In fact, I was Lucy's maid of honor in her wedding to Natsu. How nice. But I asked you two here to talk about Wendy Marvel. Miss Heartfilia tells me that the young lady has healing powers in addition to her air magic? That is correct. Though I have not seen her use this power yet, I would guess it is because Lucy told her not to do so. Magic users can learn several different power sets. Masters like Lucy and myself will tell our students to only use one power set at a time, especially if they work as a hero. Using multiple powers draws too much attention. Magic users were unfairly targeted as pawns of All for One in its heyday. Many were killed or imprisoned. Such dark days. I do not think we could ever undo all of the harm done during the dark days. But I wanted to ask, how strong is Miss Marvel's healing powers? The girl's potential is great as I have ever seen, but it will take time for her to reach her full power. As I thought, I would like to have her place in additional training on a recovery girl. Do you think that would be helpful? The two ladies looked at each other. Then Lucy spoke. I do not think that would be as helpful as you think, Principal. Why is that? Recovery girl's powers and Wendy's are so different. Anything the youthful heroine could teach Wendy would not be applicable. But don't worry. If Wendy continues to be around Midoriya, she will get plenty of practice. You think so? Yes. Midoriya is a lot like Natsu. He would not think twice about getting beaten to hell to save someone. Well, let's hope it does not come to that. But I will do as you two wish. Thank you, Principal. I am interested to see what this year has in store for us. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that we the Celestials have many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description. So feel free to check out all other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so goodbye and have a divine day.